Recently, in fact within the last couple of weeks, Rick Rule has mentioned that he's again bullish on uranium. So in this video I want to have a look at uranium cycles. Historically, at least since the middle of 2019, these uranium cycles lasted for an average of 160 days, so just over 5 months. In the middle of January, by the way, we did discuss the upcoming uranium cycle low with the members at myfinanceteacher.org. And in that post I mentioned that the recent low from early January was a little early for the uranium cycle, which usually lasts, as we mentioned, for just over 5 months. Hence, we were expecting another dip down, providing an additional buying opportunity. Whether a new low would be created was still a mystery, which is being resolved right now. We see a lower low on price, likely confirming the cycle low, with the cycle lasting for 153 days. That's pretty close to an average duration, which again simply makes it that much more likely that we are observing a cycle low within these days. Zooming in a little, we see that the price has poked below the relatively wide Bollinger Bands a few times already, and we see a positive divergence on RSI, which is a higher low on RSI accompanied by a lower low on price. Usually, not always of course, but usually a positive divergence on RSI is followed by a bounce in the price, which would in this case coincide with a rally in uranium price into a new cycle, which in turn of course would be very beneficial for uranium equities. Look at the early January, for example. While uranium price itself has only increased by 7% from early to mid-January, during the same time uranium equities on average, that's a URA over here, have increased by 18%. So while in the next couple of months price moves into a new uranium cycle, most likely poking above the 200-day moving average above $80, and while that would be over a 15% rally in uranium price, uranium equities are likely to do much better. That's in fact corroborated in a recent interview with Rick Rule sometime around mid to late January, where he said that he is again bullish on uranium. Again, he thinks that there is easy money to be made in uranium. In fact, 2 or 3 years ago, when sentiment in uranium was down through the floor, Rick Rule used to express the same outlook, which was followed by a very significant rally in uranium. He had mentioned that he was reducing his positions, and by now he's bullish again, especially on some of the select equities. And talking about equities, uranium equities are not the only ones that we like to look at myfinanceteacher.org. As you know, we are also very interested in precious metals, and one of the examples of the equities we discussed at myfinanceteacher.org is of course Goliath Resources, which has recently been on the news in a very positive light. But way before this most recent news, back in February 2024, in fact, we had a detailed review of Goliath Resources, and since then the share price has rallied by over 90% into the most recent discovery-related positive news. This is simply one example showing you that detailed information is crucial in modern markets, and as you need to be an informed investor, make sure to join us at myfinanceteacher.org. Have a terrific Thursday. Bye bye.